Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday, so Array is coming to you live. Hello, hello, everybody, and for the love of dragons. For those of you that don't know me, I know we've got lots of new members in the group, so they might be catching a live for the first time. I am essentially a guide. I do energy work, I do psychic mediumship reading, and I am a dragon, so I bring that dragon frequency into everything that I do. And the main purpose of me being here and coming to you guys live every week and bringing all these things through the site and through the group is to bring you tools for your journey, because we're all advancing towards light. We're wanting to merge with our light bodies. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Bridget. And expand ourselves to remember who we truly be and to merge with that. And so on this process of awakening and remembering, the dragons have started showing up for many of you. And it is either because you have a connection to the dragons or you are a dragon. And for some, that's a really big mouthful to swallow, or concept to swallow, that, oh my gosh, you mean people can actually be dragons? So there's a lot of information in this group to help you get to the place of experience or understanding that even. Even if you're not a dragon, you might have dragon guides working with you. And I'm here to bring you those tools, starting with the book, The Dragon Within. It's available through the site dragonwithin.com. There's information about it in the main lead post announcement in the group. So if you just joined, look for that. And there's so many ways. Like just today, we finished our last meeting. We had our 6th week in a row with the book club, which is 2 hours of a really fun discussion, really fascinating topics and experiences, and then meditation each week. And I know that tends to really get people kicked off as to where they need to head. And Linda, I know she was just a part of it and got a big boost forward with that. So always like to put it out there. If you're interested in something like that, it's probably the most bang for your buck as far as investment in what's on offer here, and a way to really dive in and get some direction. And you can ask the author questions directly. And we talk about lots of different things, not just the book, but it's our foundation and brings us into all the different things available with the dragons. And that's usually a good kickoff point to maybe go into program later, or get yourself centered as to what is the next step for me? Where do I need to head? Do I have healing gifts that need to open? Do I have clairvoyance that needs to open? What are all these pieces? Do I have dragon wings? Why do I have back pain? All these things are part of it. And those questions, there's lots of them answered in the YouTube channel, if you look for that. But I do come live every week, and that's why I'm here. Because besides the tools on the website with the book and the book club and the programs and the guided meditations that are available, I like to bring you guys answers to your questions. So if you have questions coming up, send me an email, send me a post message. I do this every week to answer your guys' questions, because I can make up all kinds of subjects, but unless it's useful to you at this time in your journey of what you're going through right now and need clarity on, or need a way to sort out what the next step is, then you're not getting what you need. And I'm here, I want to give you what you need. Hello, Stacy, good to see you. So today's question I'm going to tackle is one of those that somebody sent quite a while back. And I know that each question, there's never a stupid question, right? All the questions typically will benefit the majority of people that end up watching, whether they're live, hello, Lori and Jackie, or they're catching it on the replay. So one of these questions that came in, so valuable and so simple, but we don't necessarily have all the answers when we're starting. So as we do this work, we're pulling in the dragons, we're getting connected to ourselves, we're having experiences, we're awakening to things, and we start noticing that our energy field shifts. It's natural, normal part of the process. As you do clearing work, which is what the dragons are here to do for you, they clear en masse, they clear efficiently, expeditiously. They really get you fast-tracked into a snowballing of your journey. And as you do that, you're blasting through things, you're dissolving things, old scars, old traumas, old densities in your field. And as those move out, hello, Robin, darling, you have more light coming in. That's going to affect your frequency. It's going to affect how you're acting and living in your life. We think, oh no, I'm the same person. Well, you are, and yet you're the next higher version of yourself, right? Which means you might change your diet. You might be drawn to different things because all of a sudden that wound that was there that made you crave certain things that were maybe comfort foods from your childhood, you've worked through that, and now you're like, I don't even like that stuff, or I don't want to eat that stuff. I want to go more lighter, more vegetarian, whatever. it will shift, and that affects you and it affects those around you. Your energy field, your energy body will expand. It will get more powerful. It will get brighter. How does that affect everyone around us? So we've got kids in our lives, we've got significant others, we've got business associates. Everybody that's in your field is going to feel those shifts. They're going to be affected by it. One in ways that is very positive for their own journey, but might bring about some disharmony at first, because what you'll notice is you being willing internally, and this can be all subconscious, never talked about, but as you're willing to do the work internally and get in tune with yourself and clear your stuff and have some crying sessions and have some raging sessions and clear some deep pieces and pockets that have been holding you back, you're going to align more to yourself. One, that's challenging them to do the same on an energetic level. So especially spouses or older kids might really, really push back against that. That is essentially sort of putting the challenge out to them of, are you going to move with me? Are you going to grow with me? And it's all nonverbal. It's all energetic. And when you trigger them into, when you might trigger them into their pain body, because they're too ashamed to move forward, they don't want to deal with it, they want to stay in resistance, that's going to bring up their hackles, and it might make them defensive or argumentative or like just raising spats that you don't understand why. So if you have this, hello Ursula, coming in from your perspective and an understanding of knowing this, my work might actually bring this up, it'll allow you to be more compassionate and empathetic when it does raise with them, and just allow them the space to get to it on their own. Allow them the space to, they don't have to grow forward with you, but I bet they will if you give them the chance to. And your kids, you're going to see them jump on board probably really quickly, especially younger kids, because everything that we heal within ourselves gives them the freedom to actually bump it out of their field, which they've inherited from us energetically. Everything in the emotional body that is unhealed within us goes on to our kids, especially from moms. They also get it from dads in the environment, but because they're palpably, tangibly in our bodies, they really pick it up from us. And yeah, Denise, good to see you. So they're actually going to move through it much more quickly. If you allow yourself to do a bunch of movement and healing, especially emotionally, they will not only understand and see your process, but they will in turn be released to do theirs, because as you free it, boom, they feel the open doorway that gives them the freedom to do it, and they will do it almost naturally. So they'll flow along easier. But the other piece, not just about pushing them into their own work, which can be a bonus, like they're contracted to be with you on a soul level, probably because you might be the way shower or the leader for them to get their own journey moving forward. That is a common thing, to have that soul contract amongst each other, to be the one that pushes the other forward. Hello, Mary. So the other way that it really affects people is because your field becomes more dynamic, it becomes bigger. So people might start feeling almost like their space is being invaded or get sort of pushed back by you. Not that you're doing anything wrong, not that you're saying anything wrong, and don't take it personally, but start to realize like, oh, maybe I need to pull my energy body in, my dragon self that is massive and huge, that as I connect to that energy and frequency, and maybe it follows me around after the meditation and it's big and it's in my field. Hello, Teresa. You can just invite it to come in a little bit. It's about being consciously aware all the time of what your energy body is doing. And so if I know, I tend, like myself, I tend to be very big energetically. I might have been, like, for an example, I was in a class with other people that I thought they're big energetically too. We're all here to advance forward and learn some things. This was years back. And what I found was they were being intimidated by me because they weren't at the same place yet, and they weren't dragon, and I was. Hello, Deborah, down in Australia. And so I realized I'm quite big energetically, and I'm not afraid to stand in it. And so every meeting, the facilitator finally had to say, all right, let's all be aware of our energy bodies and pull them back in if they're extended out too far. And it was the first conscious realization for me of, okay, she's talking to me. Pull it in. It's okay to be a dragon and be big, but let me hold a little, vertical tower here while I'm in this group setting, so that I don't push these people away, so that I don't alienate them or make them feel uncomfortable because they want to get to their full potential as well, and maybe I'm inhibiting that, or I'm intrusive on their space and they're picking up my energy and my stuff instead of being clear on their stuff. So that's the other way that once we keep doing this work, it really gets to that effect on other people. So hopefully that's a helpful little tidbit this week. Please, 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 if you have questions, send them my way. Post message, email, Araya@dragonwithin.com or Araya@invokehealing.com. You can post comments on the videos. I don't always see them as quickly as I do messages or emails, but I do eventually see them. And I keep an ongoing list. So even if I got lots of questions in a row over a couple of days, I'll work through them every week, because I'm going to be here every week to bring you guys little pieces and tidbits, and I want to be in service to you. I want to be answering what you are wanting to know in that moment, or where you're feeling stuck on your journey. And hopefully I'll have the answers, and if I don't, I know the dragons do, because they are always with me. And I wanted to share one that I haven't had in the field before. Been on my shelf for a long time, and felt he jumped off the shelf when I was working today and said, I want to be part of this. So this little guy, he's so precious. I want to say that this is a handmade by a friend of mine, felted dragon. Is this incredible? And she is a gifted artist up in Wyoming who sent me this on the birth of my first son. Talk about a special handmade, gorgeous heirloom that I will have forever. Even got the wings on the back. I mean, how do you felt that? Just incredible. So introducing him to the world and to the dragon family, and all my little guys. This new guy is here with me now, and some of these are going to start to be available when I get the lair ready, so that I can bring you guys high frequency things to have in your field to help you on your journey. And I'm really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to our first trip this year. We've got a workshop and an activation coming up. The workshop is going to be in October 10th and 11th in the Three Rivers, city of Three Rivers, which is between Montreal and Quebec in Canada. And July 8th to the 15th, if you guys haven't been paying attention to the posts, I'm doing an activation trip to Mount Fuji, Japan. You don't have to summit the mountain, you can. We are going to as a group, but it's a 24-hour thing. So people that don't want to go can stay at the hotel and be part of the other activations around the valley, because we're doing multiple activations around the valley floor in a specific geometry around the mountain. And it's going to be a nice, it's an 8-day format, so that those with working schedules that's hard to get a lot of time off, it's going to allow it to be easier. It's just a 1-week deal, really focused on that valley, getting in touch with nature and the ground and the dragons and activating that. And then a little touch of culture on either end with Tokyo, and some things that we're going to do there to experience some of the incredible technology and beauty that Japan has to offer. So if that's piquing your interest or speaking to you internally, that you have an internal call, and typically if you have a heart call to be part of those activations, it will push you forward. Just participating in them expands you in ways that you can't imagine. I know the group last year in Kailash in Tibet, we all came back so shifted, and everybody said, I don't know if I should mention this because it might make you fearful of going and being able to get back to work, but Kailash was really an above board, physically draining thing, but it was the hardest jet lag anybody had because of the powerful energetic dynamic. This one is not going to be as strong as that in the same way, still going to be powerful, and there will be transmissions available. And oh, wonderful, Teresa. There will be transmissions available for those that cannot be present, which I always do when I'm off doing work like this. But if you are feeling any call at all of, wow, I've always wanted to go to Japan, or I've always wanted to take an international trip, but I'm scared to travel alone, or wow, I'd really like to be with a group of dragons just to hang out for a week in an incredible place, then please message or email me, because the details are out, and I'm certain I'm not really worried about the coronavirus thing. I know that it's prevalent around that section of the world. There are some cases in Japan, but I really feel like, one, it's going to be resolved by then, and two, unless you're in a high-risk group, which is the very young or the very old that have specific infirmities, I don't believe it's life-threatening, and I know that we're divinely protected when we're doing this work. Whatever, even if you were to contract it, it's going to be like a heavy flu. So don't let that be what deters you. Never live your life in fear, because that's where these things come into the field. Whether it's naturally created, whether it's some type of germ warfare type thing. Not saying that it is. Hello, Tanya. But there are things in the world and forces that are putting things out there to keep people in fear. And it's when we stay in fear and don't just stand firmly in our column of light that we lose who we are. When we stay in connection to our light self and all that we be in every moment, all that stuff can't really affect us. So take that to heart, feel it, and any of these things, if you're feeling drawn or have a question about it, please send me a message. I respond pretty quickly with emails and messages, and like to stay on top of it. Although I will admittedly, and I hope everyone else does too, take Sundays and most of Saturdays to myself unless there's an urgent message. So I'll really enjoy coming to you guys every week. I'm grateful that you're here. Thank you for being on and listening, and for those that are catching the replay. And don't forget, I have a booking calendar. The Book Now button on the invokehealing.com site or the dragonwithin.com site gets to my calendar. There's 20-minute discovery calls. Did you know they're free? I do free 20-minute calls. They're not a reading per se, or diving you into a session, but they are a way to talk about what's going on in your journey. What would be the direct best path for you right now? Should you look at a program? Should you look at a book club? Should you even look at a session? Or would the book be the best tool for you? Where do you need to go, and what are you looking for out of it? Be aware that my booking calendar only goes about 3 weeks out. So I've had a lot of people email me and go, you don't have any openings for a whole year. Like the rest of the year you're booked. Is that true? And actually I've set my booking calendar to only go 3 weeks out, so that in the event that I have to block off for something that comes up, whether it's an activation or squeezing someone in somewhere, I don't let it go that far out. So just keep checking. So things that are coming up, check again in a couple days. Check the next week, because there are some openings out there, but I do actually book about 3 weeks out. So just a heads up on that. And that's right now partly because I'm in the midst of the 4-month program, and they all have one-on-one sessions as well. And so it makes my life very full and very blessed and very just aligned, which is what I want for each of you. The whole goal of my work is for you to be aligned with your highest self, with your dragon, and actually be living what you're here to live, to open to all your gifts. That's my goal. So have a great, great weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week. And hello from the dragons. Big dragon hugs to everybody. Bye.